Everybody, I'm Peter Skiera, aka Stations Guy, and my guest on today's show is Chuck E. Cheese's Chuck's Arcade. I read about this a few months ago. It opened up about 5 months ago, and this was one of 11 in the country. So, being the retro guy that I am, I wanted to go down and see the arcade. And I just remember this as a kid, going to the shopping mall and hanging out with friends. That's what you did when you were a teenager back then. And usually they would have an arcade, but also there were standalone buildings that were arcades. So that's all they did. They didn't sell stuff. It wasn't like a department store. It was a giant video arcade place. So you go to it, and there were rows and rows and rows of video machines and pinball machines, and you could spend the whole day there and spend every quarter you had on these machines. So I remember this stuff as a kid, and I thought, wow, this is one of 11. This is pretty special. I'm going to go and check this out. So I drove an hour and 20 minutes, because I don't have a life, to the Tyrone Square Mall in St. Pete, Florida. It was a beautiful, warm, sunny day, which is redundant when you're talking about Florida. And the name Tyrone Mall, I thought that was kind of odd. Why wouldn't you call it like the St. Pete Mall or something like that? And it's a bit confusing and convoluted, but I guess there was a what would you call him? A sort of mobster guy who worked with some of Al Capone's people and so on, and he was from Tyrone, Pennsylvania, and he named a boulevard Tyrone Boulevard, and then just over time, businesses started calling themselves Tyrone, and so that's where the Tyrone Square Mall came from. It's Tyrone. It's just a thing there, I guess. So, but this Chuck's Arcade has over 40 arcade games. You can't get food there. They don't sell pizza and drinks. There's no singing of birthday songs. There's no animated animals doing things. It's just an arcade within the mall. And so, but as far as the one of 11 goes, so there's this one in Florida. There's actually two in New Hampshire, two in Oklahoma, one in New York, Connecticut, California, Georgia, Texas, and Missouri. And they were under a different name before, and it wasn't doing so well, so they rebranded it to Chuck's Arcade. But since it isn't a Chuck E's restaurant, it's not Chuck E's Arcade. It's Chuck's Arcade. So anyway, I drove down there, went there, and I'm going to play you this video now of me kind of scoping the place out, and then afterwards I'll come back on and give you my very frank assessment. So roll it. So we're walking, we're in the mall. Wow, it's noisy. And we walk right into the food court. Okay. See what we got here. Now, just see if they have a map somewhere here. Doesn't seem to be that busy, which is the way I expected it, because after all, it's a weekday afternoon. Oh, you want to get a tattoo? You're all set. I don't have to find a map, because there it is right there. Look at that. I just am going to pass it, though, just for a minute, and I want to see just what else is down here and around here, since I made it all the way here. It took me about an hour and 20 minutes to get here, so I might as well get the lay of the land, right? Oh, there's some nice Christmas decorations. That's encouraging. Oh, are we getting pictures with Santa? Free Santa visits. All ages welcome. Well, I can't pass up a picture with Santa. Although it says visits, so maybe I have to buy a photo. That would kind of stink, but I guess even Santa has to make money, you know? Gotta feed the reindeer. Yeah, it's pretty sparse here. I mean, there are actually more people than I expected there to be. Some ornaments for sale. I don't hear any Christmas music playing. In fact, I don't hear any music playing. It may just be that it's too noisy. So let's head on over to the main event. Santa looks very lonely. Poor Santa. He looks so lonely. I'll probably have to go over and keep him company. But let's get over to the Chuck situation here, the Chuckster. See what we got. So my first reaction, oh, there's Asteroid. Oh, a photo booth. Those have been making a resurgence of late. Okay, so you need to buy a game pass. It's not quarters, it's a game pass. Well, that was my Chuck's Arcade adventure. Overall, I have to be honest with you, I was really disappointed. I guess I just have memories of the video games that I used to play, and they had, I believe it was like five of them of the type that I'm used to. It's my Galaga game here, and they didn't even have Galaga, so that was pretty disappointing. I ended up playing Asteroids, which I really suck at, and I think it was Donkey Kong was the other one I played, which I'm not too great at either. But everything else was just games that I'm not used to and would never play in a million years. They actually had a photo booth there where you go into a booth, you slide the curtains, you pay your money, and it takes pictures. That was the most fun I've had in ages. As I said, I don't have much of a life, but these are the stills from the photo booth, black and white. It was cool that that was there. As I said in the first video, there's no food, there's no animated animals, there's no music, there's no employees. Actually, I never saw a person who worked there. There's got to be somebody there to maintain the place and take care of issues or whatever, but I never saw anybody there. Um, I did watch the video on the Chuck's Arcade website, but they make it look wonderful and huge and great, and so I didn't really know until I got there. It's pretty small, I felt, much smaller than I expected. Um, the other thing that was kind of disappointing, which I was kind of expecting, this is really annoying me. Uh, you don't put quarters in the machines. You buy a game pass. So you use your credit card and you go up to a kiosk and you load this up with whatever, however many points you want, and then you take this thing and you hold it up against where normally you would put a coin, and it registers and lets you play, your game. This is not the same experience as pumping quarters into a machine. But then again, I wasn't going to be pumping quarters into machines that I really didn't want to play. So, but this kind of takes away the old style arcade feeling. Couple updates of things that I said in the video. I said there was no Christmas music in the mall. There was. I did end up hearing it. It was just kind of noisy and echoey, so it was difficult to hear, but they were playing Christmas music. And no, I did not go and see Santa. I did go back. I circled back there, and he was gone, I guess, on a lunch or dinner break or something, but they had a thing there showing prices, and the cheapest was $39, and that got you like some wallet sizes and I think maybe a 4x7 or a whatever, which I didn't need. I just wanted, just a regular picture with Santa. So Santa was pretty expensive. Boy, he's really gone up in price lately. So I didn't do the Santa picture. And then the only other thing that I'll throw in there is just as I do really like this game, but it's annoying me. I don't know if you can see this. This is kind of it's like an arcade game. It's even got the vents in the back for heat, even though it doesn't really generate heat. Um, and it's really authentic. I mean, they did a great job on this. It's got the little joystick and the push buttons and the thing you don't put in quarters, but it's got the thing for the quarters. And this is made by Numbskull Designs, and they do other video games as well. But since I like Galaga or Galaga, however you want to pronounce it, this is the one that I got, and it's got a battery in it that you can recharge, so it's pretty cool. But like I was going back to the video there, the one other thing I did that I saw as I was just starting to film the front of Chuck's Arcade, a very attractive woman walked by in a long white dress. I would say she was probably in her late 30s, maybe. And I said, as she walked by, I made sure she got out of earshot. And I said, "Oh, she's cute." But then I cut that out of the video because I don't want to get sued. She sees that perhaps and feels embarrassed or who knows what. You never know these days. People can be lawsuit happy. So I cut that out. But she was cute. And I don't have a wife, so I can say that. Or a girlfriend. I'm sure that surprises you that I don't have a girlfriend, but it's true. Anyway, so that was my Chuck's video experience. Uh, Hopefully, it saves you a trip. Unless these are the kind of things you like, then go for it. So until next time, please subscribe. Please like and leave some positive comments. Share if you would. That's really important also. And please be kind to each other. And we'll see you next time. Bye now.
Stations Gone.